3 and
Mm-hmm.
1 and 2, 1 and 2 and 3 and 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 1 and 2 and 3 and
Kind of. You saved it. The last measure you played.
1 and 2 and 3 and
Yeah.
1 and 2 and 3 and
Yeah. Try the whole line again.
1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and this part.
Yeah.
It seems like when I get to hit 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and
Almost. You wanted to rush that second note in the last measure.
yeah.
Very close.
1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and no 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and no
Go back to that last measure. You're repeating the same mistake.
1 and 1 and 1 and 2 oh wait a minute 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3
Angela, you played it wrong like 5 times in a row. It's on the and of 2. 1 and 2 and.
1 and okay this is 1 and 2 and
Yes.
1 and 2 and 3 and
Yes. Okay.
1 and 2 and 3 and
Mhm.
1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and
Yeah, you want.
I went back.
You've got it. When you get to that measure, just remember you're not in a hurry, because each time you play that measure, you want to rush the second note, either a whole 8th note or just like a 30 or a 16th note.
1 and 2 and 3 and 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 still wrong.
Yes. What do you notice about the first 3 measures, if anything?
There is no times rest.
Yeah. What do they have in common?
Come on. They have tie.
They don't all have ties. Play the first 3 measures by themselves and really listen to what you find.
This one here.
Yeah.
1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and they're simple.
They're the same.
Oh, they're the same?
Play them again and listen.
1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and you know what? They're the same.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
just written differently.
Yes. Now look at the last measure and listen. So play the first 3 measures and then listen to the last measure and see how it's different.
Play this one first and then go ahead and play this.
Yeah.
1 and 2 and 3 and 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 is that right?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
So what's different?
This part?
Beat 3, right?
Yeah.
So in all the other measures, you've got a quarter note on beat 3. The last measure is the same, except beat 3, instead of being a quarter note, is an 8th note rest followed by an 8th note. But up until that point of the measure, you can just repeat the same thing that you've been playing the first 3 measures.
1 and 2 and 3 and
Mm-hmm.
okay. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and that right?
Yeah, that was right.
Oh, okay.
I feel a little more comfortable playing that.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me do it. Maybe that was just one time. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and.
No, I think you got it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's this one.
Yeah,
No
let's go
problem.
back to Q now.
1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2. 1 and wait a minute. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. No, wait a minute. There's no 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and. Wait, this is the part. 1 and 2. 1 and 2 and. Oh, wait a minute. That's the time. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 1. Okay.
So now look at those first three measures, and these measures have something in common also.
Oh, okay.
You see it?
This one is exactly this one.
Yeah. And measure
And then
in the third measure, the 2/4 measure.
1 and 2 and. This is easy. 1 and 2 and.
Yeah. And so each of those measures starts off with the same idea. See that?
Oh, yeah. It is. One and two, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. Oh, okay. I went back to the
Yeah,
same
just
problem.
play the first three measures and notice the similarity there.
1 and 2 and 3
Okay,
and
the and of 2, right? In the first measure?
this one.
Yeah.
1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and no 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and
Again?
1 and 2 and 3 and 4 no 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1. Okay, let me do this one too. 1 and 2 and 3 and
Mm-hmm.
1 and 2 and wait a minute 1 and 2 and 3 and 4
And of 2, and of 2.
1 and 2 and 3 1 and 2 and wait a minute now I lost my counting. I don't know, maybe I'm okay. If I'm just looking at this one, is 1 and 2 n.
Mm-hmm.
1 and 2 n.
Mm-hmm.
This is 1 and if this is without that is 1 and 1 n.
Mm-hmm.
But because it has a dot, it's 1 and 2
Mm-hmm.
and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and
Mm-hmm.
1 and 2 and 3 and
Mm-hmm.
1 and 2 1 and 2 and 3 and
Except don't play beat 3 though.
1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and
Almost. It was right up until you stopped.
1 and 2 and 3 and okay.
Uh-huh.
Putting it together is the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. I went back. Why am I making a mistake here? Because it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and.
Good.
But putting it together is it seems like I can always play this apart and this apart. But when you ask me to play the whole thing, it's not happening.
Well, just try looking ahead. When you've got yourself into, because you know it's got that pattern. The first three measures have that pattern of 1 and 2 end, right?
Right.
So the first measure has 1 and 2 end, and then on the end of 4, and then the 3/4 measure has that same 1, and then on the end of 2, and then the 2/4 measure. By now you should be able to see that and just memorize what you're doing, and kind of go on autopilot a little bit while you look ahead and start to digest that 4/4 measure that's coming, so that when you get to those last two measures, you've got plenty of attention left over, because you've already kind of learned the pattern that's happening in those first three measures, and so you can start to look ahead. Does that make sense?
Yeah. 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. No. 1 and 2. Okay, let me do it very slow. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. No. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. No. This is the problem. Putting it together. If I just play this 1, 2, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and. No. I think I overplayed this thing that I'm totally confused.
Well, I don't know if I want to. I don't know if we'll get anything out. of
You know what? It's
continuing to
because
do
maybe
this.
I'm over nervous and like this.
Yeah, I
Maybe
think
we
if
should
you
go to something.
if you came back to it tomorrow, I think
Yeah.
it'd be good. Well, we've got about 15 minutes.
What do you want to? We can do. Oh, we don't have anything there.
Let me see.
Maybe there's a sight reading or anything.
Yeah, maybe we can, well, let's see here.
Or
So we had you do the mind.
have we done this?
Yeah, this.
We did that.
Oh, we did. I didn't assign you
I
this.
didn't do that.
Yeah.
But isn't that the same as that exercise I did?
This is very similar, except it's in contrary motion. See that?
Oh.
So while the right hand's going up, the left hand's
Yeah.
going down, and vice versa. Which is it's fairly difficult.
It's
but you know
difficult.
what, we can just to do so like
Oh, really?
Takes a
Where is it? Where do you start?
oh well, and this one is in A minor. Have we done that before?
No. I just know because it's the same hand that I'm doing.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm doing like this. So if I can, if
Well.
you can do like that, you can do
Yeah,
separate.
it's hard for me.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Oh okay.
yeah.
Oh, no, I did not practice this one.
I think maybe we've done contrary motion before.
We did in other
Oh, okay, yeah.
no, we did
What's
it in
the
other
Did we do it in C?
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
okay.
other, but not this one.
But yeah, this is basically the same. It's the same fingering.
It's the same as you're going here, right?